Hello, welcome to another assignment. So, this assignment's actually pretty neat. This one is going to be file types. You guys have been dealing with file types for a long time now. You've been dealing with different types of image files, audio files, Word document files, even some Excel files. If you did geometrics anyways, you did. So how do we tell what a file type is? Okay, if you'll notice, actually I'm going to open up my files so that we can look at our file types. Okay, now I've got a bunch of folders here, and I've got my Word documents and some images. I'm just going to click over here and display the window down so I can see. I'm displaying it as so I can see what type of file it is. These are the file types right down here, and these are all folders. I've got a JPEG file, that's an image, a PNG, Microsoft Word document, PDF, okay? It used to be a lot harder. They used to not separate this out. It used to just say capture.png or class layout.docs, DOX, or DOC, I can't remember. Anyways, so your files in Windows 10 does make it, and I'm sure in Apple computers it makes it a little bit easier as well to figure out. But it's still important when you're saving things to know what file type you want to save it as. So let me just move this up. Digital image extensions. I don't think I have changed this. So it'll look a little bit different because obviously I'm editing it right now. I'm going to put this video on, but what you're going to do is you're going to click on this video, you're going to watch it, and it's going to explain some of these file types, okay? Now let me just show you. I'm going to open up Photoshop, okay? And the only reason why I'm opening up Photoshop is because the file types that we're working with are image file types, just images. We're not working with WAV files. We've already worked with WAV files. Now we're going to work with image files, okay? We're going to do this before we get too heavy into image editing, okay? Hopefully you'll find something that's fun. If you guys didn't know this, I'm not going to have you do this, but you can download Photoshop for free as a student, okay? If you're interested in that, send me an email. Just for learning by the side, whichever, you can download any Adobe product for free as a student. Okay, so I'm just going to I'll just open up an old project that another student was working on. Okay. You gotta be patient sometimes with Photoshop. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna try and save this this image. Okay. Now right now it wants to save it as a Photoshop file. That's a PSD. And you'll learn that a Photoshop file will save the different layers. Now there's other files that can save layers, okay? So Photoshop file can save layers, BMP and TIFF, right down here at the bottom, they all can save layers, okay? Also, EPS, if I can save that here, EPS files, those will save as layers. They'll save your layers, okay? Watch the video. It'll explain a lot on some of these files. But you'll notice I've got all sorts of options right here, okay? Today you're going to kind of learn a few of the more common or popular ones that we need to use in order to do this, okay? Now normally you would have done something, I would have introduced you a little bit to Photoshop, but that's okay. It's not necessary for this assignment. You'll just notice that in Photoshop you do work with layers, okay? And if I were to save this as like for instance a common JPEG or a PNG, those layers would disappear. So that's the number one thing that I want you guys to take away from this lesson today is the different types of files, the different types between vector images and rasterized images, okay? You don't have to remember those words, but this video will explain more about it. Also, go to this website, and this website will show you more about file types. We've got the common JPEG right up here. It talks about, maybe some of the quality of the JPEG, medium compressed files or regular files. These are the different types of JPEGs, whether you compress it properly or not. It gives you the pros and cons, which is really, really good. A GIF, okay. By the way, I call it a GIF. It really doesn't matter if it's a GIF or a GIF. I just call it a GIF because that's what I started calling it originally, and that's the reason why I called it that originally, is because whoever created the GIF, the graphic interface interchange format, is he called it a GIF. Yes, he called it a GIF, even though correct pronunciation is GIF. He called it a GIF. Anyways, you don't say Nike just because it rhymes with bike. You say Nike, right? Over in the UK, they say Nike sometimes. Okay, so it talks about GIF files and BMPs, pros and cons, the reasoning behind saving a certain image for this file. It's really important to remember some of the reasonings behind all of this, okay? There's a reason behind there's a reason why we would save something as a PNG, because it keeps a transparent background. There's a reason why we'd save it as a TIFF, because it's a very large file, you don't want to lose anything, and it remembers layers. Same with BMPs, okay? JPEG is just an easy common file, or a GIF you might want to use for website application, okay? So anyways, this will show you some. It doesn't show you all, though. You have to go to this website, you have to look at this, and you have to look at, let's see, where was I? Oh, I was over here. Okay, you have to look at the video, and you have to look at this website. These are your two resources that you have to use. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to define these. I don't want any copy and paste. I want you to define them, tell me what they mean in your own words so I know that you understand what these file types mean. When and where to use them, okay? So when I say explain each following image extension right here, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying tell me what it means, when I would use it, where I would use it, why I would use it, okay? The purposes behind it, maybe some pros and cons, maybe. And then these scenarios are I almost got rid of these scenarios this time around, but they are so important for you to kind of apply these file types. So I give you a scenario. I want to export a photo to be used as a profile picture on Facebook. And then I want you guys to think logically about what file would work best for a Photoshop. Would it be a PNG, a Photoshop file? Probably not, because those are huge. They contain a lot of layers, and Facebook probably isn't compatible to Photoshop files. Okay? Maybe you just want a short image right there. You want a t-shirt designed to a t-shirt printing company. All right, what kind of file would that be? Do you want a larger file? Do you want a basic file? Do you want the quality to transfer over? Do you need it to be vector or rasterized? Okay, think of these things when you're going through these scenarios. The website, if you go through and read the instructions, or read the information that's given to you here on this website and watch the video, you might have to watch the video a couple times, then you will be able to complete this assignment in full, okay? You can do this on a Google Docs or Microsoft Word, whichever. Just submit it into Canvas. All right? Good luck with this assignment.